A very fresh morning to one and all present here. Myself Zainab Kagdi from Atmiya Green School, Jadeshwar branch, Bharuch. We are back with English subject for class 7th and today is 19th October 2020. So as I got a few um, as today we'll begin with the revision for the periodic test 2 and we'll begin with the grammar portion from the Adventures with Grammar and Composition for class 7th. In that we'll study there are 7 lessons which are going to come in your exam for your periodic test which will be held on 26th of October 2020. So we'll discuss the lesson number 5, that is verbs. Before beginning, I have got few messages regarding you have doubt in transitive, intransitive, incomplete verbs, which are the types which are going to come. So in these lesson, whatever is given, only 2 exercises given, and whatever the types are given, that will be coming in your examination. So we'll discuss today lesson number 5, that is verbs, that is on your page number 41 of your grammar book. Okay, so we'll begin with what are verbs. So verbs is basically action words. Action words means any action which has movement is called verb. For example, Rohan is singing in a museum, or Rahul is walking in a park. So singing, walking, dancing, eating, reading, writing, these all are verbs. Verbs means action words. In order to define the meaning of word, verb are words that tell us about action done or the state of being or possession. So kindly underline this definition and learn it by heart. What are verbs? Verbs are action done, words that tell us about the action done or the state of being or possession. So, for taking the example, I lost my pen. So, lost is a verb which is action. We are going to Bermuda. Again, going has some movement, that is, so it is a verb. These are old legends. These are is a verb. So, these are the few examples of verbs. Now, we'll discuss about the types of verbs. In that, we'll study transitive verbs, intransitive, and incomplete verbs. Verbs that need an object to complete their meaning are called transitive verbs. So these can come in your exam, that what are transitive verbs and what are intransitive verbs. In that you can be asked in the MCQ, this definition will be given, and in that you have to select it is called transitive or intransitive verbs. In that you will have to tick the correct answer. So this can be asked, so please learn these definitions. The verbs that need an object to complete their meaning. For example, I lost my pen. Okay, so here it is. I lost my pen. Okay, so here I is a subject, lost is a verb, and my pen is an object, correct? So here, when, for example, if we neglect the object, then I lost, but it is incomplete, correct? I lost what? I lost my pen, I lost my book, I lost my keys. So here I lost is an incomplete sentence, while to complete it we need an object, that is I lost my pen. So that is why when a sentence requires an object, then it is called transitive verbs. Verbs that make sense even without an object are called intransitive verbs. Now we'll discuss about what are intransitive verbs. Here you can see this is intransitive verbs, correct? Now verbs that make sense even without an object. Here given example is given, Akriti laughed. Laugh is a verb. We do not have an object here. So here without, when the object is not required, there is no need for the object, then it is called intransitive verb. Clear? Here another example, some verbs require a complement to complete their meaning. Here, this is this. Some verbs require a complement to complete their meaning. These are called incomplete verbs. Okay, some verbs require a complement to complete their meaning. For example, the Bermuda Triangle is a strange place. So here a strange place is a complement. Is an incomplete verb, and the Bermuda Triangle is a subject. So when some verbs require a complement to complete their meaning, if without this there is no meaning to the sentence, so these are called incomplete verbs. For example, is, if we look into, if we see this much sentence, that it is incomplete. The Bermuda Triangle is what? A strange place. So a we need a complement to complete their meaning, then it is called incomplete verbs. Difference between an object and a complement. Now you will say that the strange place is also can be an object. So how do we differ what is an object and what is a complement? Although an object and complement may seem to have similar functions, there is a difference between the two. We can use passive voice with objects, but we cannot use complements in passive voice. I lost a pen, that is active. My pen, a pen was lost by me. So again, by me, it can be used as a passive voice. Then we can use passive voice with objects, but not with complements. So here the pen was blue was taken a complement which cannot be written in passive form. Okay, was takes a complement, but it cannot be written in a passive form. So that is how we can differentiate between an object and a complement. Moving ahead to direct and indirect object, I hope you understand what is transitive verb and what is intransitive verb. When the verb that needs an object to complete its meaning, it is called transitive verb, and when an object which does not need any, when a verb which does not need any object, then it is called intransitive verb. Okay, now direct and indirect object. Sometimes transitive verbs can take two objects, a direct and an indirect object. When there are two objects, one of them is a direct object and the other is called an indirect object. Here we can take the example of, okay, how do we recognize Sayan got father a glass of water. So Sayan is a subject, got is a verb, he gets it. Father is an indirect object, a glass of water is again direct object. Okay, Sayan got a glass of water. So Sayan got father a glass of water. So that is why father, it is an indirect object and direct object is a glass of water. So how do we recognize the difference between a direct and indirect object? The direct object directly receives the action of the verb. Correct? Sayan got a glass of water. So this direct object directly receives the action of the verb. Direct object answers the question what? Sayan got father a glass of water. What did Sayan got? Sayan got a glass of water. The answer to what is always a direct object. Okay. Similarly, the indirect object is indirectly affected by the action of the verb. It answers the question to whom or for whom. Here, for example, we can take Lalit sent Shoma an email. Lalit sent Shoma an email. So, Lalit is an object, sent is a verb, Shoma is an indirect object, and email is a direct object. When we say to whom did Lalit send? To whom? To Shoma. So now to Shoma, the person, that is called to whom, and for whom he has written, he has sent this letter, this email to Shoma. So Lalit sent Shoma an email. So when we ask the question with what, we get the answer, that is direct object, and when we ask the question with to whom and for whom, we get the answer is it indirect object. Correct? What did Lalit send? An email. To whom did he send the email? To Shoma. So in email is a direct object and Soma is an indirect object, correct? Now moving ahead to the main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Let us know understand the meaning of main verbs. Main verbs are also known as principal or lexical verbs. Main verbs are the main verbs in a sentence. They do not require helping verbs to make complete sense. Please make sure understand these very properly. Is the fourth definition of the main verb. It is they do not require helping verbs to make complete sense. Some verbs only appear as main verbs. For example, see, walk, read, say, talk, sleep, laugh, write, jump, cry, shout. These does not require any helping verbs. Then they are called main verbs. Moving ahead to auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs Auxiliary verbs are also called helping verbs. These verbs help the main verbs which usually come after them. So be the forms of be are is, are, am, was, were, being, seen. These are all the forms of be. Have and do are called primary auxiliary verbs because they can sometimes be used as main verbs also. The rest of the auxiliary verbs are called modals. They express ideas like possibility, ability, permission, obligation, and suggestions, etc. List of auxiliary verbs. You can see that for forms of be, are, am, is, are, was, were, being, been. An example is Mac is flying above the water. So here the main verb is fly. Okay, and there is the main verb is fly. Do is an auxiliary verb. Does or did is a variation. Does Mac fly? Mac has flown. So these are all the main verbs are fly and it is used in a different form. Again, different auxiliary verbs are have, can, could. Okay, now finite and non-finite forms of verbs. We already learned. What did we learn till now? We learned about what are verbs, what are transitive, intransitive and incomplete verbs. Then we learned direct and indirect object. When we ask the question from with what, the answer is always direct object, and for whom and to whom. When you ask this question, we get the answer that is indirect object. Then we learned main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Main verbs are such words which do not require helping verbs to complete its meaning. Now, finite and non-finite forms of verbs. We have already discussed this kind of verbs in our course book, Exercises of the Grammar. We'll have a quick revision. Verbs can also be termed as finite and non-finite verbs. When a verb changes according to tense or person, it is a finite verb. Okay, when the verb that shows the tense, that is the time, past tense, present tense, future tense, then it is called finite verb. When the object does not change its form according to the tense or the person, then it is said to act as a non-finite verbs. Non-finite verbs take an ing form or are used in their base form with or without to. The latter are also called infinitives. Now without to, that is for bare infinitives. We already discussed this in our course book exercises. Moving ahead to examples, Hansita sang to the concert. Hansita sang at the concert. Sing is a finite verb here as it reflects the tense and person. Again, sing, sang. Hansita loves to sing. Sing is an infinite here as it is unaffected by tense or person. Correct? Now, loves to sing. Now, to sing, do, sang, we cannot write to sang. Loves to sing. Okay, so when it is an infinitive here, and in the first example, it was sing is a finite verb. Moving ahead to tenses, verbs indicate whether the action happens in present, past or future time. Correct? Verbs can have three forms, that is present, which is going on right now, past, which is already been occurred, and past participle. Grammar, sings. The verb sing is in the present tense, sings. Grandma sang, so it is a past form. Grandma has sung. Sing is the past participle form. All the tenses can be indicated using these three forms of the verbs. Some verbs add ed, d or t to form their past tense. For example, ed we can write walked, walked. D we can write hold. We can take the example of, for T we can write send, sent, sent, sent. For D we can write make. For D we can write make, made, made, made. So that is how we convert it to the past tense. The examples are given here: laugh, laughed, melt, melted, burn, burned. So these are the examples. Some verbs change their vowels and sometimes consonants too to form their past examples. Okay, make, made, sorry, begin, began and begun, become, became and become. So these are all the verbs which change its form from past form to past participle. For take we can write took and taken. So whatever exercise is given, make sure you learn this important box, because it is the most important one, and the questions can be asked. What is the past participle of have? You will write your had. What is the past participle of see? We can write seen. What is the past participle of forget? We can write forgotten. Leave, left, left. So these are all the past participle, how to use different forms of past. Some verbs have the same form throughout, whether they are written in the past, present, or so you need to learn it by heart that these are the forms. Whether you consider it past, present, it remains the same. For example, read, 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 cut, 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 hit, 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 hurt, hurt, hurt. So read, cut, hit, hurt, cast, cost, let and put. These are all the words which do not change its form. They remain unchanged. Okay, so now let us begin with our activity A, that is complete the following sentences using the past form of the words given in brackets. Let us have a closer look of question number 1. Okay, let's understand it. Geeta, okay. Geeta dash to go to the science fair. Now what you need to do it, complete the sentence using the past form of the verbs given in the bracket. So whatever past in the bracket you given, you need to use its past form. So what is the past form of want? Yes, Geeta wanted. We will write here wanted. So Geeta wanted to go to the science fair. So I dash her there last weekend. So I took. The past tense of take is took. So I took her there last weekend. I hope you understood this. Moving ahead to question number 2. Okay. The question number 2 is the deer dash away the moment we dash out our cameras. The moment deer ran away, run. The past tense of run is ran away. The moment we dash our cameras, we took. Yes, again take. The past tense of take is took. We took our cameras out. Question 3 is when I dash Manasvi that I dash reading, she dash me her Harry Potter series. When I told Manasvi, yes, the past tense of tell is told. Okay, let's rewrite it. When I told Manasvi that I liked reading, we'll write here D. Okay, she lend will convert into lent. Correct. So here you can see that tell become told. We put here D in the liked and D becomes T. So When I told Manasvi that I liked reading, she lent me her Harry Potter series. Okay, so now moving ahead to our next question is, okay, Mr. Holmes dash near the table. Okay, the past form of stand is stood near the table listening to Dr. Watson. Then he dash up his hat. Past tense of pick is picked. He picked up his hat. Mr. Holmes stood near the table listening to Dr. Watson. Then he picked up his hat. Okay. Raghu dash read yesterday. Raghu Matt. Yes. Raghu Matt read yesterday. They dash out for dinner and dash for hours. The past tense of go is went. He went out for dinner and talked for hours. The past tense of meet is met, go is went, and talk is talked. Okay. Then sixth one, the wrestler dash up the road. Picked. Okay. Picked up the road and dash it, the crowd, and bent. Okay, bent it. So instead of D we'll put T. Bent it. The crowd looked on it in shock. The crowd looked. We'll write here looked in shock. Moving ahead to question 7 of the exercise. That was a brilliant catch by Virat Kohli. He dashed his eyes on the ball. He kept his eyes on the ball, dived to his left, that is dived, and caught the ball, that is caught the ball. So dived, capped, and caught are the answers to this. Question number 8 is, when I dash a kid. I dash in a small village near a lake. When I was a kid. Yes, my dear students. So we'll write here, when I was a kid, I lived in a village and learned it is I learned how to swim. So the answer to question 8 is was, lived. That's where I learned how to swim. So this is exercise number A of your textbook. Moving ahead to the exercise B, read the following passage, fill in the blanks using the past or past participle forms of the verbs as indicated within the brackets, and one has been done for you. One evening in 1995, Kerry Gordon Trentham was, the past form of is was returning home from Florida where her daughter stayed. Okay, past form of stay is stayed. You just need to put 3 things. First is D or ed or t. It's very easy. Or t. Only 3 things you need to, how to convert past into past participle. You have to put d, ed or t. So here in stay we used ed. Okay, dear students. So an experienced pilot, she was flying a small Piper Warrior opened the open water. Over the open water, the sun was beginning to set when she, past form of enter, that is entered. Okay, when she entered the area between Florida and Puerto Rico where Puerto Rico, which is dash, which is known as the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, now we'll write, which is known, KNOWN, which is known as the Bermuda Triangle. She dash, past form of remember, is remembered. She remembered. She remembered. Sorry. She remembered. She remembered her conversation with the fellow pilot. He had told her that there existed a dead airspace in this region. No radio signals, again past tense of can, is could reach there, as she contacted the flight service to check the weather stability. The past tense of become is became. Yes, became more and more erratic. So that is your first paragraph of question B. Moving ahead to, okay. Now suddenly a dark blanket of fog enveloped her plane. Trentum, past form of lose is lost. What is lost? Sight of the horizon and city lights. Correct. There was only pitch black darkness outside. She tried. The past tense of try is tried to remain calm. She contacted the nearest tower but no signals. Dash, no signals were available. The past participle, the past form of were what? All the instruments inside the plane had stopped. STPPED, stopped working. Her compass too had become become, here become will remain become only, become erratic. Even her helmet had started we'll put here ed. Okay, even her helmet had started to buzz. Was she flying upside down? Was she heading into the ocean? There was only one option left for her. She took a deep breath. Past tense of take is took the deep breath, dash, and thought. The past tense of think is thought. Of her family started gaining height. She climbed. Again, ed will put climbed. She climbed higher and higher, trying different radio frequencies all along. Finally, the fog cleared. Okay, ed will put here. Fog cleared. She spotted the tower and the horizon. Spotted, again, here we'll write spotted. Spotted the tower and the horizon. She had no idea what had happened. We'll put here ed and ed. What had happened? But she had made it to the other side. Again, right here, make will turn into made. Okay, so she had made it to the other side. So these is your activity on page number exercise on page number 46 and 45 of your grammar book. So I hope you understood this lesson. This is your lesson number 5 of your grammar book. So I hope you write the answer. We'll fill the grammar book with the correct answer. We'll move up to our next lesson in our next class.